The SuperMeet returns to NAB in a different form. This is MacVoices. This edition of MacVoices is brought to you by the MacVoices Slack, available to all patrons of MacVoices. Sign up today at patreon.com/MacVoices. Welcome to MacVoices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, I'm not quite sure if we're post-pandemic yet, but we're tending that way. Things are opening up a little bit more. We're seeing some more in-person events, and I think our level of comfort in trying to attend some of those events is probably improving as well. I know it is for me because I'm planning to go to NAB in Las Vegas in just a few weeks as we record this. And I'm happy to welcome back to MacVoices Dan Bérubé and his wife Katie to talk about the new SuperMeetUp. Dan and Katie, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for being here.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Both Katie and I are happy to be here. It's always a pleasure to talk with you.
Well, I was delighted to see the SuperMeetUp. I mean, it's not a super meet, but it's a SuperMeetUp. And that's great because it feels like we're all sort of easing back into things, sticking our toe in the water to see, if it's going to work out and how it's going. And I was anxious to hear about just what this year's event is going to be like.
Sure. Well, exactly what you're talking about, it's been like 3 years for us, since we've done a super meet at NAB. And so, it's like it happens like, we're going to do it. We're planning for it. And then it gets canceled. And then, next year we're going to do it. And it happened again. So this year, it was almost like, well, I didn't write it off, but it was like I was very cautious about what I wanted to do. And then I realized once NAB was saying that they're going on, I realized we needed to do something. And I didn't want to do the regular super meet. I don't think we'll do it that way, like in the hotel again. And I didn't want to have people just sitting down, rows and rows of people, and like not interacting, if you will. So what I just streamlined it. It's all about community. That's our tagline. And this event is really just about being together. That's the biggest thing that we want. Above all, it's about being together, being in a community of people that embrace storytelling. The SuperMeet, SuperMeetUp, the up stands for we're moving forward, we're together, don't look back. And, I wanted, when I was at when I was first researching what to do, and this really started like in January, because typically when we do a SuperMeet, I'll start, like in last year at like in July or something like that. And, but this year, I really started in January, and it was kind of like me, like, oh, should I not? Should I? And then Katie and I were talking about this, and, we realized, we actually went to NAB. I keep saying NAB, but it's Vegas. We went to Vegas and did a site survey of the LVCC. We met with some NAB personnel there, and then we realized, how cool would it be to be in an outdoor venue? And that's really what I wanted to do, because, it would, it's safe. And then it would probably make people a lot more comfortable in being together. And our first effort was we looked at the West Hall, which is the new complex, the new building, I should say, that NAB has just built, that the LVCC has just built. And, NAB showed us, the people there showed us the West Hall. There's a outdoor venue that's built into the hall. It's called a terrace, and it's on the second floor. And that was our first effort. It's like, yeah, this looks great. It's got a beautiful view of the LVCC, of the Strip. And then I realized I really wanted to bring people out of the trade show. And so, I talked to some other people. We actually considered doing an event together with another group on Monday, and but that didn't pan out. But I realized I'm going to do an outdoor venue. I'm going to take it outside of the LVCC. And both Katie and I did some research, and we found, we said, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it at the best outdoor venue in Vegas. And we found it, and it's called Bear Park, Las Vegas. It's right underneath the Eiffel Tower at the Paris Hotel. The outdoor venue holds 500 people. The indoor venue holds another 500 people. This year, we're outside. And we want to do something where it's just, again, let's all be together. We know what it's like. Let's talk. We're going to actually have 3 different color wristbands. Do you want to talk about that? Or?
Oh, yeah. Well, just so that you can indicate your comfort level. So if you do either want or need some space, you'll be able to communicate that by having a certain color wristband.
That was Katie's idea, actually. That was cool. I mean, how cool would it be? Just trying to do things that, promote safety and health and whatnot. And,
Right.
The good thing for us is that, NEB is doing their best to enforce, safety protocols. The venue, Bear Park, does that. That's what they do. And then, with what we're doing, we want to just make sure our attendees are feeling comfortable. But again, the SuperMeetUp does not have an official stage agenda. And we don't even have, for this effort, we don't have sponsored tables. We are just all together, one room,
Right.
or outdoor patio, I should say. It's got a built-in beer garden. There's 2 bars. There's beautiful chairs all around each bar. There's lounge chairs, couches. You can play pool. You can play foosball. You can play video games. There's something else I forget. There's a couple other games there. But, it's really an informal, relaxed evening that we're striving for. And that's what we're going to do.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, that's, first of all, I think it's great, that you're trying this. I love the way that you're trying to, do a little extra safety, depending on people's preferences. That's because some people are very comfortable with just, we're back, it never was anything and we're back to it. And other people are like, not so sure. And unfortunately, I think we all know people who, have contracted COVID and it was no worse than a bad case of the flu. And then we had some other friends who didn't make it through. So it's been such a crapshoot. And as a result, I don't think any reasonably intelligent person right now doesn't just do a second thought. The second thought maybe just go full steam ahead, but they do give it a second thought. So it sounds like you've addressed that issue as best you can.
Absolutely. I encourage people to think about coming to NEB if they're on the fence. There's still time. There's plenty of hotel space. The airlines are, actually when we took the flight to NEB, the flight was full. But, it's like, figure that. But, I encourage people to come. NEB's done their part to make it safe. And we're doing that too, and what's, since we all know that life is not ever going to be the same as it was, at least going to NEB, it just gave me, us, both Katie and I, an opportunity to see how can we change the SuperMeet to be more of what we've always wanted it to be, but for some reason or another, we couldn't make it happen.
Right. And to take some of the best parts of it, meeting up with people that you haven't seen for a year, and now in this case, it's going to be longer than that, maybe 2 or 3 years, and connect, but still be able to get some value from your learning more about meeting different filmmakers and things like that. So it's still topical to your industry, so. It's social, but you will also be able to interact and meet different sponsors and filmmakers that work with different, Blackmagic or with Adobe, and to really have that opportunity for like FaceTime, really, like what I would say, which is great. It's not going to just be someone standing up on a stage talking. It's going to be like a filmmaker raising their hand and saying, this is what I've been working on. This is some cool stuff. Like, come find me. And that's a great opportunity and a different dynamic that we're looking forward to put into play.
Right. And definitely, it's not, I don't think we'll ever do the SuperMeet the way it was previously. We'll have like conversations, and the venue that we're at now is perfect for that. The inside venue and the outside. And so next year, I've actually booked Bear Park throughout like 2026. So it gives us some time to rest back and think about how we can really make it work in that venue, and just in particular, that style of thinking. So, relaxed, informal evening, network with your industry friends, recount good times, plan future ones, win amazing prizes, meet some I like to call them celebrity filmmakers, but that's really what I wanted to do. I didn't want to have, speakers presenting for the SuperMeetUp, but I wanted to pick a couple of filmmakers that could just like be there, talk to us, get your picture taken with us, so one of them is, his name is Julian Terry, and he is a filmmaker that actually has been very successful in having 3 of his short films turned into feature films, or in the process of being turned into feature films. Amblin Entertainment, Legendary Pictures, and I always pronounce this wrong, but the Basilevs. These are 3 different separate feature film companies that are each taking one of his short films and turning it into a feature film. The last one, the Basilevs, they've taken Julian's short project called Don't Peek, which was shot on the Blackmagic camera. And these are great films. I mean, he's very incredibly inventive. And
it was during the pandemic too, right?
Right. Yep. And being very resourceful in how he films. I mean, the lighting that he has, it's not like a lighting setup. He is actually using the light emanating from a Nintendo Switch game, game console. And that was actually being used to light the subject's face. And so it's just, it's great because we could have had the established people come and, all these successful people and, but what I wanted to have was up and coming, aspiring. You can be like me, I can be like you, that sort of thing. And so Julian totally fits that bill, and I'm really looking forward to having conversations with him. He's actually going to have an informal talk, just showing a couple of his clips and answering questions about basically hear how Julian has done it. And then the other filmmaker is, her name is Elise Narve. Sorry, Elise. And she's a YouTube celebrity or filmmaker, very successful at it. Digital storyteller, video producer. She's also an Adobe creative resident who's created content for YouTube, Google, Target, PBS. And she's got a web series called This Could Have Been an Email that she's working on. So she's also doing narrative narrative storytelling for Adobe. And she's also, which I'm really excited about, is that, and it sort of ties into what we have been doing at Jupiter Hall, but she's interviewing BIPOC artists on the process of their filmmaking and their creative art. And that really sort of, resonates with what we were doing at Jupiter Hall. BIPOC, obviously Black, Indigenous, people of color. It's pronounced BIPOC. It's like, no, it's not Spock's brother, but BIPOC. Yeah. But so it's, it's about diversity. And it's something I've always wanted to do with the SuperMeet. We were doing it at Jupiter Hall. Now we can do it at the SuperMeet. But Elise represents that person that is really got it together and is moving forward with her life and doing some really amazing things with storytelling. And she's got a wonderful YouTube channel that she's doing, a lot of this work on. So, I'm really happy to have her with us, and she'll be in the audience and meeting people and whatnot. So, the event goes from 7 to 11. So we'll have Elise come on at about 7:30. And then at 9, we'll have Julian come on. And at 10, we do the raffle or the giveaway. I don't call it raffle anymore. And then people can, give hugs to each other and move on to their next party or whatever, wherever they're going. But yeah, that's our event. And we're quite proud of the effort that we put on the great welcoming from Beer Park towards what we want to do. And have been phenomenal. I said phenomenal. Is that a new word? But working with us to make this happen. And I can't stress enough as well about NAB. You want to say something about NAB? Okay. It's not all me. It's also Katie.
Yeah.
But
she's the brains of the outfit, Dan. You're just a spokesperson.
Exactly. I'm a puppet. She actually has her arm up me right now.
Yeah.
But NAB has been wonderful. We've been working with them. I've always wanted to work more closely with NAB like we are now. And they're a great team of people. I thank them with much gratitude for working with us. I approached them, in January, and they were like, "Oh, we know all about you." And it's like, we're so happy that you reached out to us. What can we do for you? How can we help you? And what we managed to do was, because it is just Katie and I doing this, and it is volunteer, but we work with them to have our tickets being sold off of the NAB website. So when you register for your NAB exhibit hall pass, when you move to the next couple of pages, there's an add extras section, and you can just check off SuperMeetUp, and there you go. You just bought a ticket, and then for those who wanted to buy multiple tickets, we have the EventBrite link that we do as well. And I can say, as of this writing, we are actually over 500. So we're giving a little bit more time for tickets to be sold, just because people can go throughout the evening. They're not all. I don't believe they're all going to be staying there, because there are other parties that evening as well. So, but we are technically sold out, and we're excited. I never thought that we would get the amount of people that we got. I mean, I was thinking maybe 200,
right.
Because, no one thought that,
There's so many unknowns, and there are a lot of lack of commitment early when you have to make these decisions to go forward or go or no go. So that it definitely was kind of a roll of the dice when we made that decision to move forward.
Yeah, and I actually spoke with NAB and asked them, what are your numbers? How are things looking? And and they're pretty direct, and said, if things are going the way they are, we're going to have a really good show. Indicating it was going to be over the number that we thought it would be, and it's like, oh my, really? It's like, but then like 2 weeks ago, when we just started getting. Every day we get, rosters from them, and it's like, oh my God, this is growing. And what's great about this is that we're not an event where it's just the same people over and over again. I mean, this actually, this year especially, these are all new people coming. And I think that's great for us, and it's great for the supporters, the sponsors. And it just makes for brand awareness and for awareness of the SuperMeet. I mean, it's all about word of mouth, and so this is great. And we get don't get me wrong, we get a lot of the same people coming, but I like the idea that we have new audiences coming, and so we look forward to kind of like the wedding line, just greeting everybody.
This edition of Mac Voices is brought to you by the MacVoices Slack, available to all patrons of Mac Voices. Sign up today at patreon.com/MacVoices. This industry is one that has been especially hit hard by the pandemic because of production shutting down, obviously location shootings shutting down.
Mm-hmm.
And so the idea of getting people back together, making those informal connections, I know that's been a big thing for past Super Meets, but this sounds like if it's possible, it's even more important this time around because the industry is getting back on its feet. There are a lot of new opportunities. Because strange as it sounds, because of the pandemic, sorry, that'll be an edit point.
That was like perfect there because
yeah.
the pandemic.
Cough. No, because of the pandemic, the landscape has really changed. There's so many more streaming services, or the streaming services have a much higher mind share now, and there's so many opportunities for content.
Everyone's an expert on them too. We've had to use them where you might not have had to work remotely previously, or you maybe knew what Zoom was, but not so intimately as we all know now.
Yeah, it feels like maybe it's a couple steps forward and then or backwards. Now we can take a giant step forward, but at the end of the day, that it's still a very people oriented industry. You know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that can get you your next gig. So
that's exactly how it works in this industry. I mean, no, you're only as good as your last job. That's the way I've always approached it. And so you give your best, you give your all. And it shows if you do that on each job, and you do, let's put it this way. I've never had to submit a resume or be interviewed for a job. It's always, I started off at Emerson College for film, and then I worked with the friends who I graduated with, and they all, most of them moved to California and New York, and then you just work that way. It spreads out like a web. Or like the Matrix or the multiverse. I don't know. But, but I'll say to what you're talking about, for the longest time, I kept hearing everybody, all my friends saying, nope, we're not going. No NAB this year for me. I can get everything that I need off the web. No, thank you. And it's like, oh, that was adding to my, who's going to come, But then even now, when things, in the last few weeks, these same people are now considering a lot of them have actually said, okay, I'm going now, which is, it's good for us. It's good for NEB. It's good for them. And, to answer your other question about, using, the new technology, this is something I've been wanting to do for the longest time, is embracing the technology that's out there and how can we use it to make our Super Meets better. Now, I think, and we've done streaming in the past, but it's a different type of streaming. This, the streaming that you can do now is a lot more interactive than the type of streaming that we were doing. It's all, we're pushing our content to you, but there's no way of interacting. But now you can, and that's exciting, to us. And how can we utilize that? First and foremost, we are an in-person event. But beyond that, the one of the cliche terms, the hybridization of content, we'll explore that, after NEB, we're going to definitely take a part of the summer, but we are also going to go to IBC in Amsterdam. And we are 70% positive that we're actually going to do a Super Meet, or a Super Meetup, I should say, in Amsterdam during IBC. At the same time, either way, we're going to go, and we're going to at least explore and see how it is. Because things have just changed, and especially outside of the United States, it's a lot more stricter out there. And, even now, people coming to NEB, it's going to be not going to be a lot of people coming from outside of the country. I mean, like Australia, they're still, are they still under lockdown? Or
that I don't know.
If they're not under lockdown,
laws.
Yeah, different laws, different protocols. So being in Amsterdam, it'll be interesting to see how people interact. It's going to be totally different. I mean, at IBC, we loved it because you can go there, you see people smoking on the show floor and all that. That's all gotta change. But if we can make it happen, we will do that. For us to do that, we'll have to network while we're at NAB, and then right away flip the burger and go and do another one. Because come July, all of Europe goes to, or the people, at least the people that we deal with, they all go on vacation for like two months. It's like the summer. Don't even talk to us about IBC until until August, and so we have to get most of the work lined up, and then we can wait and be ready to do the next round of work or logistics, I'd say. But that being said, we're not going to do a SuperMeet this year. We're going to do SuperMeetUps. And so for us, it's working with our friends in Amsterdam, Pauline Fernandez from the SAE Institute, and others to do the groundwork for us. And then from there, we can go and do some more. So we hope that we'll do a SuperMeetUp, but we'll definitely be there in Amsterdam, at least to explore and pick that place that we'll do for next year. Hopefully we'll get someone to pick the place for us, but we want it to be as fun as Beer Park, and of course they've got that. I mean, Amsterdam, didn't they invent the beer garden? No, it's Germany, but
but maybe they perfected it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
No, I think this makes a huge amount of sense, because look, the reality is that the super meets as they were a pretty huge production, and therefore, an expensive production. And this year just isn't the year to do that. It's the year to, like you say, test the waters, see who's interested in what, but still keep the core of the event, the core benefits of the event intact, and then just build back slowly and maybe differently. Who knows?
Oh, it's definitely going to be differently. We're never going to do the SuperMeet as we all knew it and loved it. We're going to take the best of it and move forward.
Yeah.
We're going to go up. SuperMeet up.
Yeah. So it's Monday, correct? Of NAB?
It is Monday again. We'd always, we were in that, tradition. There's a lot of traditions out there, especially in our industry. Tuesday was NAB Tuesday. It was SuperMeet Tuesday. We'd hold our SuperMeets on Tuesdays, but NAB decided to push back their show a day to start on Sunday instead of Monday. So that means Tuesday was the last night, and most of the people that we know, at least, or a large part of people that would come to a SuperMeet event, an in-person event, they're all going home, because they've seen most of what they wanted to, and, the last day of NAB, it ends at, 1, 2 o'clock maybe. It's a shorter day, and most of that is just people, finishing up or whatnot. So we decided to move to Monday, and it works for us. The whole idea about, oh, you're going to Monday, why not Tuesday? And everyone at NAB, every night there's going to be at least 3 or 4 events happening. So you event hop, you go from one event to another, or you stay for the most part at one event, and then you recap or do another event, So, for us, it's no strange leap. And we hope that others feel the same. But as we go along, this will all work. And it's working now, but, it's just, there'll be new opportunities for people that they haven't thought of. Same with us, for us as well. But, at least throughout 2025, NAB has decided to keep this start on Sunday and on Wednesday morning, or Wednesday afternoon, I should say. So, yeah, we're Monday. So it's going to be a SuperMeet Monday, Super Monday, or whatever we end up calling it. So it's exciting.
Yeah, so I want to be real clear here, Monday, but tickets are still available because you have the room to expand.
Tickets are technically still available. We've got at least on EventBrite a wait list happening, and NEB told them where to cap their registration. So I don't know if that's going to happen tonight or tomorrow. It's been pretty steady. Again, we're going to talk with the venue and see what their experience is with the events that they have. But I mean, I would imagine that some people are gonna stay the whole night. Others are gonna say, "Yeah, we've been here. Okay, let's go to the next. Let's go to the next
sure.
event."
Sure.
So we'll go over 500. And even at 500, there's still a percentage that's not going to come because they said, "Oh, I'm not going to go," or whatever. They could be any reason, So you get a certain percentage of that. So we're doing well, and we're like I said, we're just astounded by the response.
Yeah.
Especially coming to a show that everyone has so much trepidation over. Like, are we just going to be standing there talking to each other, at the booth, or is there going to be actual people coming with? By all signs of, at least from the SuperMeet, there's going to be people at NAB, so that's great.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, just as we record this today, I saw a notice came out that they were talking about a higher. I better make sure I characterize this correctly because I don't have it in front of me, but a higher percentage of people from all over the world than I personally would have expected. So it looks like it is definitely going to have an international flavor. I think they said 395 exhibitors. And again, I don't have it in front of me, but it's shaping up to be maybe not the NAB of old, but certainly an event that is going to be well worth attending.
So they are saying that people from other countries are coming.
Yeah, they were saying that the percentage of the total is about where it usually is. So
that's good.
Well,
that's great.
That's great.
I love that.
Yeah. So I will make sure I have a link to the EventBrite site in the show notes so folks can go, and if you can get a ticket, great. And if you get on the wait list, get on the wait list. And by all means.
Are you interviewing people at NEB, or are you?
That is my plan, Dan.
Mean,
I'm like everybody else. I'm trying to make my contacts and check with people, the ones that I know, because part of the fun of NAB for me is just wandering around and running into something that I didn't even know about or didn't know was going to be there. So, but I also want to make sure there are enough people there that make it make sense. But yep, hotel and airfare are booked, so I'll see you there.
What was good about this, and I don't know if you have it for yours, I'm sure you do, but it's been very lenient with hotels and airfare this year that for the guarantee, or you can actually pay the little extra money and get a full guarantee of getting your money back if you don't go. So that's good. And that's what we did actually. We said, okay, we're going to take a gamble. Let's buy let's go on Expedia, let's buy your hotel, let's buy airfare, and okay, so we can, within 3 days or whatever the deadline is, we can cancel. I mean, we would know by, at least 2 weeks from the event whether or not we're going or not. So, right. But so that's good. And I'm glad to see that other people are doing the same thing, One thing I do want to mention is that, besides working with NAB, our biggest supporter has been and will continue to be Black Magic Design. They are our core sponsor. And without them, we would be probably holding an outdoor event on the patio of our hotel room, with a flashlight, But we thank them for being able to help us to move forward. And then our incredible cast and crew of people, we have Adobe, HP is back with us, Dell. This year is going to be very much about the cloud. So that's something that, Chuck, you should look into as well. Collaboration, what I like, is the whole idea of working in the cloud, collaborating with others in the cloud, doing remote work and whatnot, is it really does give you an opportunity to tell your story with other people that you haven't worked with before. And so that's exciting to me. I mean, and I would hope that, the companies like, Frame.io, I did this earlier today, but, Frame.io, we are not worthy. We love you. Frame.io, I want to work for you.
Yeah.
No, seriously. I mean, what they're doing, they were acquired by Adobe, and now Adobe has announced that, Frame.io comes with Adobe, the basic elements. And then, there's another company called Lucid Link, and it'll be interesting to see how they work with other companies, with, even, Apple and whatnot. Blackmagic is doing an event 4 days from now on Resolve Cloud. Now that's certainly going to be talked a lot about, because we're all wondering, what are they going to do? Frame.io is still relatively agnostic, I would say. I mean, you could, whatever NLE you're working on, you can still use the service, and that's a great thing. And even Apple, will be interesting to see how everything works out with them on, I mean, Apple's going to lead that totally. But
yeah.
So,
but it feels like we've got about somewhere between 2 and 3 years worth of technology advancements to catch up on.
Right. Yeah.
Because even with the pandemic, things were still advancing. They may have been going sideways a little bit, but they were still moving forward. So,
right.
I'm looking forward to seeing what all's new. At not just the feature filmmaker level, but at the prosumer level as well.
Oh, absolutely. And there'll be people there talking about that and talking about workflows that you can work with.
Sure.
Did you go to CES?
No, I did not make it to CES.
Yep.
No, that one. There was just too many questions around it, and things were still kind of hot, and it just seemed like not even for Vegas, it was not a great percentage bet. So I decided to set this one out. But it's just one more reason I'm really excited over NAB, because I haven't been back to Vegas since the whole mess started.
Yeah.
Katie, are you going?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. So Dana's not going to be
without Katie.
Yeah,
Katie isn't going.
Yeah, he won't be running loose in Vegas alone. That's good.
You can really feel the energy. Like, really, I think we're very much looking forward to it, and I think just the industry is looking forward to it. I think, and everybody is getting really excited, because we're all in the same boat. We haven't seen people for years, and it's exciting. So yeah, we look forward to it.
It's funny. People keep asking me, "Are you overwhelmed? All this work that you got to do?" And oh my God! And it's like, no, I'm enjoying this. I love this. I mean, hey, I'm planning a party. How can you be overwhelmed about that?
I don't know about you, Dan, but when I go to things like NAB, I mean, I come home exhausted, but physically, but recharged emotionally or something. So it's a different kind of vacation for me, but I absolutely enjoy it every minute of it.
Right.
It's always been like that. And like, you're like the ambassador that comes home from NAB and spreads the knowledge to your other friends and, people.
Well,
assuming you have friends, Chuck, but no.
Like summer camp, where you meet people you hadn't met before, and you get to do things together and things like that. It reminds me from being a kid and going to camp.
But that's very much what the experience should be like. Exactly how you described it. Less, well, of course, less wear and tear. But hey, I'm 2 years away from 60. I'm never going to be the have the body that I used to have when I was working for Canon. Oh my God. No, the stories.
We'll stop there.
I just can't do that anymore.
We'll stop there.
Yeah, but just the long hours.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to seeing you both in Vegas at NAB at the SuperMeetUp. And folks, if you're going to NAB, please contact me, because I'd love to have you on a live interview from Vegas on MacVoices. But definitely get your ticket for the SuperMeetUp. Go and see what Dan and Katie have put together. because we're all getting back to it. And frankly, I can't wait. I can't wait. Guys, thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. I will see you in Vegas.
All right. And remember the old adage, what stays in Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But now we get maybe there's going to be a new phrase that happens now. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, except in front of the camera for MacVoices. So that comes in with me.
By the way, I know we're ending here, but I want you to know I've been watching your episodes, your MacVoices. You've got a great thing going, and I enjoy that. So I always like to applaud, people who are really being consistent and working at it and stuff. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate that. It means a lot coming from somebody with your background. So thank you. Folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices. Once again, if you're coming to NAB, let me know. But even if you're coming to NAB and don't want to let me know, definitely get your ticket for the SuperMeet up. Until the next time, and as always, thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you MacVoices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CashFly at cashfly.com.